Hey team, welcome back to another hotel quarantine video. I'm on day 5 of quarantining after flying New York to London. International travel, a bit of a nightmare at the moment, so before I can see anybody, do anything here, 10 days quarantine at least. So day 5 at the moment, and we are going to be talking about how to increase the likelihood of success of your Facebook ads by 5,000%. Now that might sound like hyperbole, plucked out the air, but this is mathematical. 50 times more likely to succeed ads. Now it's a very simple system, doesn't take a lot of time to do, but it is the exact system that right back in like 2012, 2013, when I first started running ads, I used to run ads the way that everybody tends to run ads right now. You know, people who are obviously not trained and not, you know, professional advertisers or anything like that. The majority of people are running ads one of two ways, and it's a third and slightly different way that gets you these exceptional results the majority of the time. So to be able to get results the majority of the time, there's a couple of fundamentals there, but the overall structure of the ad campaign is the main thing to be thinking about here. Why? Because Facebook have, over the years, 2012, different ball game altogether. 2021 plus, Facebook know exactly like how to get us results if we give them enough to work with. You know, if we give them, you know, enough audiences to work with, enough images to work with, you know, enough variation in what we want to get out there to the marketplace. They know the marketplace so well. They know the people within each of the audiences that we're targeting. They know each person, when they're most likely to convert. They know what time of the day is the best time to serve them an ad. They know where to serve them an ad if they're likely to get a conversion. They know the type of content that they like. So if you're giving them videos and images, Facebook will serve the video to somebody who likes video content. They'll serve images to people who like image content. You know, all of these variations, because Facebook are so good at getting us the result that we want. So there's a very small tweak that you can make to literally increase the chance of success with your Facebook ads by 5,000%. And by 5,000%, that's about 50 times more likely to succeed. And we're going to dive into that right here. There's one key thing that I want to go over before we dive into my computer here and I show you a nice visualization of how we increase these ads likelihood of success by 5,000%. If you're listening on, you know, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of those methods, I'll be very descriptive, don't worry, this is going to make a lot of sense. But if you're on YouTube, of course, just search Neil Shoney Mac if you're not, and you can come through and see the visualization as well. And that one thing that I want to go over is your offer. Now, we can increase the likelihood of success of just about any ad by simply putting this system into play here that we're about to go through. However, if you want ads that are actually likely to succeed even when you're not using this system, and therefore when you use the system, they're super highly likely to succeed, as well as not just being profitable but being wildly profitable, then you have to get your offer right. You know, so many people will come in and, you know, they might come to work with me, but a lot of the time I just speak to people anyway who are running ads and, you know, I can't get them to be profitable and this, that, the other. It's because they tend to run ads directly to just a product or a service. There's no reason for somebody to take action today. You know, it might be a really nice thing. It might be aimed at people who already know the brand, for example. But if you're just sending them to a page where there's a product there, full RRP, there's no reason to take action today, it's really difficult to get them to convert. And it's because we have ads popping up all over the place that are completely customized to us all the time. People are trying to grab our attention all over the place. And to actually get people to take action, the way I like to describe your offer that you're building is make it so good that people will be actually nervous or scared that they won't see this ad again. So they're like, I need to take action on it now, even if I'm busy, just in case this doesn't pop up again. That's the type of positioning that you want this offer to be that good. That doesn't mean that you have to have a massive discount. It doesn't mean that you have to run below profit. It just means that you need to get creative. And, you know, on the YouTube channel, you've seen that there's some videos that I've been putting out about world-class ads, and a big part of what we do there, the very first thing, in fact, is how we position the offer. So it's positioning the offer so that people will actually want to take action. So by simply looking at some of those videos, you're going to be able to get some better ideas about how to reposition the things that you specifically right now are trying to advertise or planning on advertising, and you'll have a much higher chance of having wildly successful ads. Okay, without further ado, let's go into the computer right now and let's look at a visualization of the ads that 99% of people are running right now versus a small tweak that you can make to increase the likelihood of success of your ad campaign by 5,000%. One last thing, if you're new here, every single week I drop deep dives like this into Facebook ads, social media, email marketing and funnels that generate more leads and sales for businesses just like yours. So if you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button for this video specifically, and I'll see you on the future videos. Okay team, if you are running ads right now or you are planning on running ads, this is what you're probably going to end up with right here. This is what, you know, somewhere in the region of 95 to 99% of people are actually working with after they graduate from the boost button. So, you know, you might have hit the boost button a few times, and usually the next logical step is somebody goes, right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what everybody else says, don't use the boost button, and I'm going to go into Ads Manager and create an ad from start to finish. Now, Facebook have made it pretty easy to do that now. It's a 7-step process. It's very linear. You go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and you just follow it from top to bottom. Now, of course, they don't give you much direction in terms of, you know, what objective you should be using. They don't give you too much, positioning on the type of audiences to be using. They don't give you too much to think about in terms of the creative, the copy or anything. In fact, I'm saying not too much. They don't give you any of that. You're meant to turn up knowing which audiences, which conversion attributions you need, what copy you want, what images, what videos. You know, there's no real direction there. It's just quite simply you're supposed to turn up and have it all ready to go. However, this is where it all goes wrong. So people upgrade to doing this system, the 7-step system, and they go from that green create ad button right through to the green publish button. And everybody goes, wow, I actually did it. I actually did it. It's happened now. I've actually got an ad campaign that's in review, and a few minutes later, hopefully it's all been approved and you've got it going. Well, right here, this is what you end up with. Okay, so once you run through the process of setting up an ad like that in Ads Manager, you end up with this system right here. You have one campaign, you have one ad set, and ad sets, just for simplifying, is essentially the who, so it's who's seen your advert. And then you have one advert, and that's essentially, for the easiness of the ad, that's what people see in their newsfeed or in their stories or wherever it may be. Okay, so you have one campaign, one ad set, and one advert. Now with that, you need to hope that you optimize the campaign properly. You have to hope that your choice of who gets to see this ad is the right audience for your offer. Then you have to hope that the one advert that you put together resonates perfectly along that whole line with the right audience, the right conversion attribution for this whole thing to work. Okay, so you're giving Facebook essentially one chance to get it right. Okay, however, if we go into what we do inside the 16-week digital marketing program and private mentorship, of course, we teach the Shoney 255 method. Now, it might look a lot more complicated, but it's really, really simple, because you all start with a 111 campaign. We publish that, but then we start to use the duplicate button, and then we start being able to add variation and give Facebook so much more to work with. So let's start at the very start here. One campaign becomes 2 campaigns. So why do we do 2 campaigns instead of 1? Well, we have one campaign for our warm audiences, and we have one campaign for our cold audiences. Why do we split them up? Well, if your warm audiences, for instance, are not too big, if you do not have, a lot of website traffic, a lot of previous purchasers, if you don't have a lot of people who've watched your videos, a lot of people who have engaged with your social media content across Instagram and Facebook, your warm audiences aren't going to be very big. Then when you set up cold audiences, they're going to be huge. Now, quite often what we see when we bundle these all together into one campaign, Facebook will almost push the budget towards where there's more scope, so much larger audiences. So sometimes the people who are most likely to convert, your warm audiences, don't really get to see much of the budget. Okay, so by simply splitting it out, it just means that you get full control over the budget that's going to be spent on your juicy, warm audiences. Okay, so simply splitting them out right there is the first way that we double the chance of Facebook finding a winner inside our campaigns. Okay, so if we just take each of these campaigns and we now move into the ad sets, remember that's the who, it's the audiences essentially. Well, all we're doing there is we're going from one audience through to 5 audiences for each campaign. And that gives that amazing variation for Facebook to work out which audiences are specifically going to get the results. And we get to see that, and we get to turn off the ad sets that don't perform or move more of the budget into the ad sets that do perform. And it's a really, really simple process, okay? So I'm going to give you a quick example here. Your warm campaign might be, 5 ad sets. So ad set number 1 might be people who have visited your website in the last 7 days. Then you might have ad set number 2, people who visited your website in the last 180 days, but not in the last 7. Then ad set number 3 might be people who have visited your Instagram profile in the last year. Then ad set number 4 might be people on your email list. And then ad set number 5 might be people who have watched over 25% of any of your videos, okay? By simply doing that, we're not putting all our eggs in one basket and saying, hey, Facebook, show this to anybody who visited my website in the last 180 days. We're going broader. We're splitting it out and we're going broad so that Facebook has different things to test out, and then they can optimize for the ad sets or the audiences that are going to get the results. Second to that, if there's an example here for the cold, let's say you're in the fitness space, you sell some sort of fat loss product, then what could this essentially be here for your 5 audiences? Well, you might do people who are interested in weight loss, people who are interested in Slimming World, people who are interested in Weight Watchers. Then you might do, some influencers. So you might do people interested in Joe Wicks, and then you might do people who are interested in MyFitnessPal. So it's a tracking app for your calories. Okay, and again, by simply doing that, instead of going, one campaign, one audience, which would be, let's say, Weight Watchers, which might not work. That might be the thing that doesn't work, and you would usually have gone, you know what, ads don't work for me. I couldn't get them to work. But you only tested one audience. That might be the lowest performing audience there, and you might find that Slimming World works incredibly well, or Joe Wicks works incredibly well. Okay, so across the warm and the cold, we have 5 different ad sets. Then we move into the ads themselves, and it's, again, really simple. We'll have one advert there already. So we've already built out our ad. We've got our image, we've got our copy, we've got our headline, the bold text beside the button. We've chosen the button text, and we've got the whole thing sorted. Now we're just going to add some variation in there. We can try out different copy. We can try out different images. We can even try out different variations of images, videos, and carousels. So you can create this amazing variation and say to Facebook, hey, here's a bunch of audiences that you can aim this at, but simultaneously, here's a whole bunch of different ads that you can show to each of these individual audiences. And again, this is just hitting the duplicate button and changing a couple of things and then hitting publish. So we can increase the amount of variation here by 50 by simply moving to this structure. And it's absolutely awesome. Now, a couple of great things to know about the ads here is that not only will Facebook optimize, let's say, a video that you have for people who like video and images for people who like images. But here's another thing that happens a lot with Facebook and Instagram ads, because people are trying to grab attention all the time. They will show an advert to somebody, and somebody will hit the see more button. They'll have shown a little bit of interest. They might even have clicked through to your website, but they didn't opt in, or they didn't purchase, or they didn't add to cart, whatever you're optimizing for. Well, Facebook will note that that person was interested, but didn't go all the way, okay? And what they'll do to re-engage them is show them a different image or a different video or something along the lines of that. So by having the variation here, it doesn't just give Facebook specificity for people who like video content to get to see video content. It's also giving them enough to work with
so that they can re-engage people who have shown some level of interest but haven't actually gone over the line yet. And that's what makes this system 50 times more likely to find winners that you can then go and optimize for and scale for and take your ads to a whole new level for your business growth.
Okay team, I hope that was super valuable to you. I hope that whether you're planning on running ads or you have already got running ads at the moment and you either want them to be performing better or to get to a whole new level of scalability, I hope that made a lot of sense to you on how you can make that happen. Now, if you want to learn more about this system, you can do for free. Down below, there is my Advanced Ads Made Easy 2.0. And if you want to take it to a whole new level, I do some 15-minute calls every single week. They're usually a few days ahead, booked ahead, but in a few days' time, you can book one down below. It's neilshoney.com/call. You can book 15 minutes with me. We'll map out your Facebook ads strategy, and if it's a great fit for us to work together, great. If not, then you at least get to walk away with a more structured strategy for how you can scale your ads as well. So without further ado, thank you so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit that like button on this video. It means the world to me, and I will see you on the next video.